Thank you, Doug. Down to your left, Coach.
Nick, Doug Smith, the Toronto Star. Going into this season with championship, defending a championship, what's different for you, and how do you sort of ramp yourself up again, having gone through such a long year last year?
Yeah, just Doug, I think opportunity abounds, right? I think it's a new season. I feel almost exactly the same as I felt a year ago, and the expectations are the same that I had. We're gonna try to play a style that we play a lot of people, prove some guys, play defense, move the ball, you know, all those things that we want to do, try out a lot of things, and try to grow this thing from starting tomorrow, you know, first day of practice, and try to get these guys that are here to play A, to their capabilities, and B, extraordinary basketball.
And just in front of Doug, it's Eric Green on your left, Coach.
Eric Corrine, The Athletic. Given how much last year was about integrating Kawhi and how big of a part he was in the offense, this year, without him, is there almost more room to experiment for you as a coach, or as you said, you felt the same? Does that sort of spread over?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, this time a year ago, I think there was a pretty blank sheet of we didn't really know where we were heading, right? I mean, I think you got a bunch of ideas out there, and you got to try a bunch of them out, and you got to slot things in. And I see similar. I mean, I think you guys are, you know, as you look at our roster and players, you realize there's a couple starters missing, right, from that team. And you realize there's some guys that are our guys that have been here a while. Some of these guys, you know, the Freds, the Norms, the Pascals, OG now coming into his third year. There's opportunities for those guys to maybe either take on new identities, certainly expand roles, maybe even take on new roles. And I think that's where we're probably that sheet of paper still blank, and the ideas are up around the corners there about how we're going to do, and we got to figure out how that all comes together. But again, it feels very similar to the feeling I had last year at this time. How is it all going to piece together, and who's going to move where, and all that kind of stuff.
It's Miriam, please stay out front to your right, Coach.
Hi, Miriam from Radio-Canada CBC. Following on what you just said, do you expect the players that you have, that you know, that you built a relationship with, to be part of your structure when it comes to the team and these new guys coming in?
Well, there's certainly, you know, a lot of experienced guys back, right, with this team, and they got a year to know me, right? So you're talking about that relationship that we have. We both, you know, have had a year to grow that. I would imagine, and hopefully that they'll be again accepting as they were a year ago of my tinkering a little bit, or our staff's tinkering. You know, I can see a lot of options out there, right? And I think we've eventually found a lot of them. Like, for example, you know, are we going to play Ibaka at the 4 with Gasol some at the 5? Yeah. We finally figured out about midway through the Philadelphia series that was a pretty good combination. And it is on certain nights against certain people. Will we play Ibaka at the 5? Yeah, probably a lot. You know, Siakam, will he play 4? Yes. It's where he has a lot of success. Will he play some 3? Yes, he will this year. You know, there's a spot there to play. I think guys will move up and down the so-called numerical positions quite a bit, and that takes some open-mindedness from the team, and that takes some acceptance for them to try it and not panic if it doesn't work, not try to make a decision after 4 minutes, you know, of playing time together, you know, and that was a thing that our guys did exceptionally well last year. They were open-minded. They took new ideas and took them to the floor and tried them out, and there was a lot of good feedback with those relationships with those guys. So those guys that are coming back, those experienced guys, we'll ask to lead the charge on that stuff.
So we'll go to Mike, who's 3 rows back on your left.
Hey, Nick. Mike Andrews, the Toronto Sun. How you doing? Good. This time last year, we did we were talking a lot about the summer that Pascal was coming off of, and obviously it paid dividends. Is there any indication already about the summers that you've seen from any of the other players?
Yeah. I think Pascal again had a super focused summer with a great deal of work done. Right, he just again continues to look like a more mature player, a more well-rounded player. Just his tempo looks different. Right, he's gonna have a great year. And the other guy that looks great, and you guys will see that tomorrow, is OG. Like, there's a guy that's gonna have a good year. He's really in good shape. His body looks great. He's healthy. I like his mindset seems to be really free and clear and happy. Like he's kind of out there playing with a little bit more of a smile on his face in the pickup games that I saw here in the last few weeks, and he's going to have a great year.
To Vivek, who is on your right, 3 down.
Vivek Jacob, Yahoo Sports Canada. Nick, last year you had Kawhi as the primary scorer and Pascal emerged as that secondary guy. With moving Pascal to that primary role, is there someone you're looking to take that secondary role, or do you think it can be, Kyle one night, Mark another, Serge another, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm not sure sitting here last year any of us would have said, okay, here's our pecking order of scoring. It's going to be Kawhi and Pascal. I think even into the playoffs, I was, if I remember right, you guys, I was saying, somebody had Pascal down as our 3rd or 4th option, I think. And I was like, you're a couple low. You guys, the third anyway. But listen, I think that one of our big successes a year ago, and you guys were all there to watch it, is there was so many huge, impactful offensive moments from every single one of those guys. From Fred, from Kyle, from Mark, from Serge, at time Norm. There was moments when they'd all had monster nights in the playoffs, and I think I don't know. I don't really know if I believe in a primary, secondary, third-dairy score. But just see how it unfolds and move the ball and get everybody going. I want to play open and free, and I want to play sharing the ball and assisted baskets and with great confidence. And we have enough guys to do that.
Second row on your left, Coach. Over.
Right here, Nick, Louis Athman, Raptors Republic. Last year during the playoffs, in reference to a lot of questions, you had to draw on experiences from England, from the G League. What do you think it adds to your mindset, what you bring to the team, that now going forward you have, that championship stories to draw on?
Well, I don't know. I guess I gotta remains to be seen, really, if that comes to be a factor. One thing I do know is this: that our guys learn that how hard you have to play in the NBA Finals, and that, to me, there are 2 things. That is an invaluable thing that I don't think. That's gonna take you a long way. That is a level of play for every possession, over every game, home or away, that is super special, that our guys experienced and have that now in their hip pocket, which is what I'm talking about. And the other thing is we got 2 months of playoff basketball. That's a lot of practice, films, games, situations that we got to work on last year, and that most of those guys are back this year.
Coach, standing up to your right here.
Julio Rivas, EFE News. The starting point this year is very different to the starting point last year. What is the mood of the team right now, especially when you compare it with the mood of the team last year at the start of the season?
Let's see. I think it feels, again, pretty similar. I've loved our vibe in the gym. Just with these workouts we've had the last few weeks, it's been super focused, super hardworking, super energetic, lots of smiles on guys' faces, you know, enjoying their work and enjoying going to work, and a level of hard play, right? For sometimes you think about pickup basketball in September, and sometimes it's not very good, and it was pretty good, right? There were guys getting down and competing. That's what we like to see. So the vibe right now feels really good.
Coach, at the very back to your left.
Hey Nick, Miles Dichter, CBC Sports. What is it you see from Pascal, maybe from an off-the-court perspective, that could help him take another leap this season?
I don't see him too much off the court, but I just think, I mean, my answer to that would be I think he's maturing, right? And I just, he's got a sense of calmness, he's got a sense of confidence, maturity. Those are three pretty good words to attribute to a young player. And I think tempo might be another one I say in there. I think he's been a guy that's kind of played, you know, had to do everything with speed and fast, and I see him maybe slowing down-ish a bit at times, at the right times. You know, not everything can be fast or done fast. But let's see. You know, I think he's gonna be given a great chance here. There's a great opportunity here for him to really expand his role in his game, and there's going to be lots of opportunity for him to have the ball, a lot of chances, you know, opportunity with the ball in his hands, and I think it's going to be fun to watch.
So, but 3/4 of the way down on your right, Coach.
And Will Liu from Yahoo Sports Canada. Take me through the decision to bring Fab onto the coaching staff, and just, you know, your history with him.
Well, he's first of all, he played for me. He actually he was part of a touring team that I took over to England in 1995. I think he was playing at McNeese State, and I didn't know him, and I put this touring team together, and one of his assistant coaches called me up and said, "You need to take this kid with you." And he ended up on the touring team with me, and anyway, I brought him, not that year, but the following year, I brought him to England to play for my team in Birmingham, England. And he's been there ever since. He went to a bunch of years at Birmingham, then he spent 17 years at Newcastle. Listen, he's just got extremely high character, works extremely hard. I mean, I brought him because he played so hard, right? He's in my top 3 of guys that I've ever that have played for me. He's in my top 3 of how hard he played, right? Ask me about the other 2 sometime. And he's coached, right? He's coached for a lot of years as a head coach. I know he was a player coach for most of that, but he coached, he learned, he always was trying to learn over the years. Call me, send me this, come to Summer League, come back for training camp, come to Summer League, come back for playoff games, get out on the court. And then we had a couple spots open up with Phil and Jeremy leave, so it was time to bring him and Mark Tyndale in. But you're going to like them. You're going to like both those guys.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Enjoy training camp.